Hello, I'm Matt Ellison from Ashton Audio, and I'm here today to tell you about Fuzzsilla, my upcoming silicone-based fuzz face. I say silicone-based fuzz face, but I'm really aiming to work within the parameters of it sounding more like the original Germanium fuzz faces, and the way I'm doing that is by hand selecting and picking out silicone transistors that have similar gain ranges to the original Germaniums. The reason I wanted to move away from the Germaniums were firstly, it's getting harder and harder to get good quality new old stock, and secondly, the temperature instability hasn't really been great, as anyone who has a Germanium pedal knows, along with the fact that a lot of the transistors that are around that are sold as new old stock are very leaky. So I wanted to try and give a more dependable fuzz to people, and that was kind of the premise behind building Fuzzsilla. It uses quality parts like Neutrik switching jacks. It's got the Blue Alpha 3-pole double throw foot switch, and of course the pedal itself is true bypass. It follows the circuit largely, as I said, on the Germanium fuzz face. There are a couple differences. The input cap is way smaller, just to allow more of the top end to kind of pass through. There's extra power filtering and a diode just to prevent incorrect polarity. With regards to the DC jack, it uses a typical Boss style adapter. You can use any of those to power it. I'm using custom alpha pots as well. That's been made up because the height of the pots had to have enough clearance over the foot switch. Then it's using 1% metal film resistors, or quarter watts, really high quality, low noise. We've got the electrolytics, the polarized capacitors are Rubicons, a brand that many are familiar with. They're very similar to Nishikon and a couple of other brands. They are low ESR, high temp, long life caps as well, no 85, these are 1 at 5 degrees, so you'll get a lot of usage out of them. And the poly caps I'm using are the Weimer German made caps. The particular range is MKS4, it's a poly blend. I've grown to love these capacitors and the way they sound in audio circuits, largely from my broadcast and pro audio days. And so I wanted to maintain the same kind of caliber and quality and tone that people expected from my pro audio products to my musical audio products as well. So I actually made one up, and that's what it looks like. As you'll see, the battery snap ready is the only thing that's off board. Everything else is on board. You can put it at an angle like that and like that. So yeah, it fits into a custom enclosure that I had drilled. I am using the Hammond 1519B enclosures. So we're back, and this is me playing at the Fuzzsilla. We're playing a Telecaster in the middle position into a 57 based Fender Tweed. It's a 5F1 circuit that was built by me, by Ashton Audio as well, and this is the amp just on clean. It's a clean. I'm going to kick in the fuzz now. At the moment there are 3 controls. It has a level and a fuzz, which is what you would expect, but instead of setting, or rather presetting, the internal bias on the transistor, I've actually put a pot in here. So at about 11 o'clock it's putting out 4.5 volts, which is pretty normal or traditional for a fuzz face, but you can under and over bias it accordingly as well to kind of give it a brighter, warmer sound, less fuzz, kind of more a muddy boost to a really 8-bit Nintendo gated sound, which sounds like everything's broken, which I love, which is kind of why I left that option in it. But this is kicking in now with the lowest amount of fuzz, and as with all fuzz pedals, when you kick it in on the lowest amount of fuzz, you're going to get a kind of darker, very big muff sound, and then as it increases, it gets brighter and more open sounding. So this is clean and switched in. So to get that kind of woofy fuzz. Let's move it to about 11 o'clock. I'm going to just bring the gain back as well, because the level, because reset it a bit. So again, this is all the way counterclockwise. about 11. Fuzz tone. Go to about, let's go to about 3 o'clock. And then we'll kind of open it up. Traditional fuzzy sound. So if we bring the gate knob down, it's going to get louder. But increase it again to about 11 o'clock. Get a firmer, tighter sound out of it. So let's put it at 12 o'clock and you'll start to hear the gate. Where it's the gate, you have to kind of increase the level to compensate accordingly. But actually, let's put it at about 2 o'clock. You start to hear the octave in there as well. So that's open all the way. Let's crank that up a bit. So you're hearing the gating and that kind of octave. So it's more effective, but it gives you a range of tones. So going back now, let's put the fuzz at about 3 o'clock, the level about 1 o'clock, and let's bring it back to about 11 o'clock. So again, more traditional. So the volume's at 2 o'clock. Because of the simplicity of the circuit, it's designed in such a way that it's incredibly responsive to touch. So there's a lot of expression in it. And also the volume changes a lot. Just going to roll a bit of the volume off, just a fraction. So we just a fraction, just open it up again. So that's Fuzzsilla. That's a little bit, hopefully we'll have some more musical demos coming in the future, but it just gives you an idea of the range of tones that are capable from this little guy. And so it should be shipping in a month. It's end of July, early August. Yeah, I hope you've enjoyed the video.